Hello, my smart and talented friends, and welcome to the Global Science Network.
Check it out. I did get the 7-stage ring counter working properly, but today we're actually going to talk about how to test individual transistors. And this is actually going to save you lots and lots of time. We are building a computer using individual transistors, which means we are going to be using lots and lots of transistors. So it is imperative to make sure that each one works properly, otherwise troubleshooting these circuits can be a real pain. So let's look at how this test fixture works. To test these transistors, we're actually using a NAND gate. So whenever I insert this transistor into this breadboard, we're actually building a NAND gate. And for a NAND gate, whenever both inputs are on, the output will be off. So this is what we expect. But in addition to just checking if it works, I actually take this transistor and I wiggle it back and forth, and I make sure that this LED does not flash at any point. If it flashes, it means that it's not making a good connection, or if the voltage varies a little bit, the circuit might not work properly. So I actually just wiggle it back and forth, and this transistor would pass the test, so it is a good transistor. And this transistor that I'm going to test next, I think will actually have problems, so let's look at that. So if we insert that and we wiggle it around, we can see that it just flickers a bit. So since it's flickering a bit, that is bad. If you see any sort of a flicker, I would say that that fails the test and it's not a transistor that you want to use. So even though in theory it's like it's working, okay, and maybe you even characterize this transistor and you think that it's performing perfectly. Well, for the particular breadboard that we're using, it could just be that these wires are a little bit thin and they're just not making a good connection in the breadboard. That might not seem like a good reason not to use a transistor, but it actually can cause problems. So sometimes you use a transistor and the circuit's working, and then you just sort of like wiggle the transistors back and forth and you can have problems, and that's bad. So if you test all these in advance, it can actually save you a lot of headaches because these transistors are not super high quality components. I just buy them in bulk and I don't think they're tested in advance. So I find that you'll actually save a lot of time whenever you're actually troubleshooting your circuit if one of your potential problems is not your transistor. I do highly recommend before you start building circuits to actually just build a little fixture like this and run through and test to make sure all of your transistors are working properly. If you want to watch the next video, click right here.